As voting rights fail, the hardest hit will be LGBTQ plus people of color. As Senate Democrats on Wednesday failed to pass voting rights legislation in the face of Republican opposition, LGBTQ plus advocates grew worried about how rising voter restrictions being passed in states will disproportionately harm LGBTQ plus Americans, especially people of color and people with disabilities who face multiple intersecting barriers. While the White House had previously passed legislation that would reverse some of those rules, a merged version of the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act was unable to pass in the Senate without needed support from moderate Democrats on changing the filibuster, leaving the future of federal voting rights legislation unclear. 19 states passed 34 laws last year restricting voting access, the most tracked by the Brennan Center for Justice since it began counting in 2011. 7 of those states have among the highest proportion of LGBT people in the country per Gallup data tracked by the Williams Institute at the UCLA School of Law, including Georgia and Florida, which enacted far-reaching voting restrictions. Voting rights is going to be all we need to be paying attention for this year. I mean, it is of the utmost importance and what we need to be focusing most of our attention towards.
You're absolutely right, Faye. I disagree with one line in that story that you just read, though. The future of federal voting rights legislation is not unclear. It's not going to happen until we elect enough Democrats that are going to get it right.
True. And sadly, this is just another shameful moment in American history, and it's heartbreaking.
I was disappointed in the people who were arguing that the Senate and Congress did not have the authority to change voting rights laws nationally. But I applaud Amy Klobuchar, who read the Constitution to the Senate to show them that, yes, Congress has that authority.
Let's connect the dots. In 2006, the 1965 Voting Rights Act was extended by a unanimous vote of the U.S. Senate, all Republicans and all Democrats. In 2016, we elected Donald Trump, and through the next 4 years, we went through what we saw. We watched him claim that the election was fraudulent until January 6, 2021, when they literally tried to stop our democracy. In that time, the largest number of anti-voting laws have been passed that have been tracked in the last 10 years. Connect the dots. What's going on here? The Trump election, the fraudulent claims, the January 6th attack on our Capitol, and now all of these laws to try to restrict people to vote. What are they trying to do?
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ